Hi everyone, it's Abby with you here and welcome to the mindset part of your pre-work for the Sexy Brand Building Formula. Now, we do things differently here at the Sexy Brand Building Formula. We recognize how important understanding your brain, mastering your mind and being able to override your brain's game is in order for you to achieve success in your life but also in your business. You know, some of the most successful entrepreneurs in the world, like Richard Branson, talks about mastering your mind and emotional intelligence as being a key to your success. You can have all of the world-class strategies, business strategies right at your fingertips, but if you don't have the mindset to overcome challenges, to use your limiting beliefs as a tool, to not act out of fear and to not knee-jerk react to any bad emotions or feelings that we're having, then the reality is that you'll never utilize them in the way that you need to in order to reach success. So what we're actually going to be doing today is I'm going to help you to uncover your limiting beliefs, and we'll go into that in just a second. The reason why we look at mindset so importantly and on such a huge scale here is, like I said, we recognize how important it is to your success. And I don't think there's anyone out there that does it the way that we do. So if you look back on the last 5 or 10 years of your life or as you've been building your business, what's really changed? What have you done differently? Have you been able to stick to things in order to achieve success? You see, what most people do is they remain dabblers for their whole entire lives. And I can recognize a dabbler when I see one because I used to be one, right? So you might have your business, you've got your idea at the moment. This may be the way that you're feeling right now starting the Sexy Brand Building Formula. And it's really, really exciting, right? And you start moving up and things start moving and you start taking action and then you hit a barrier. It might be that you don't have the strategies. It might be that you're scared of something. It might be that you feel like you're not supported, that you don't have the right tribe, that you don't have the resources, you don't have the knowledge. And what most people will do is that they'll listen to that because they don't understand the brain's game in order to make them stay stuck and keep them in their comfort zone, and they'll fall back down. And this will then continue, okay? What we like to help you do is to become a certified baller. Thank you very much, Kim Barrett. So same thing, you have that idea or you have a new plan or you're out to build your business and things are really exciting and you feel that motivation and things start growing, and then what happens? You hit a challenge, you hit a barrier, you start to experience self-doubt, you start to experience fear. Okay, what we aim to do is to give you the understanding of your brain, the ability to master your mind and have the emotional control to be able to find that support, to override that fear, override those challenges, find the resources, seek out the right people, whatever it is, and rise up again. And you're always going to hit challenges, right? The most experienced, happy, and successful people have challenge. They experience doubt. They experience fear. Our brain is actually wired to deliver us doubt, to deliver us fear, to make us fear challenges and stop at challenges because it wants to keep us safe. It wants us to survive, and in order for our brains to think that we're surviving, it means that we need to stay in a comfort zone. Even if that comfort zone isn't joyous, even if that comfort zone isn't wealthy. Thank you, Siri. Thank you very much, Siri. Very, very helpful. Even if that comfort zone isn't joyous, even if it's not successful, okay, but what that comfort zone is to your brain is safe. So it's actually hardwired to play games with us to keep us stuck and to stop us from leveling up. So we're going to give you the skills to recognize these brain games, and we're also going to give you the strategies that I promise you, if you implement them and if you live by them and if you practice them often enough, you won't sabotage yourself anymore. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to now help you to uncover your limiting beliefs, and then, are you ready? I'm going to get you to hit a pain point. I'm going to get you to really, really put some energy and some raw, honest, truth, time, and work into working out what your limiting beliefs has cost you over the course of your life, how it has impacted you, and how you have allowed yourself to self-sabotage due to your limiting beliefs. Because the reality of the situation is that 95% of our limiting beliefs and 95% of our thoughts happen at a subconscious level. That means that the limiting beliefs that we're acting on, the limiting beliefs that we're allowing to sabotage us, we're not even aware of. We're not even aware that they're there. We're not even aware that we're thinking them. So this activity is designed because the most successful people in the world say you need to capture those limiting beliefs. You need to put energy into dissolving them and into flipping them. This activity is designed to tap into your subconscious and bring out all of your limiting beliefs, the ones that you're aware of and the ones that you're not aware of across all different areas of your life. And then we can actually put work and effort into utilizing them as a tool or getting rid of them for good. So I'm just going to share my screen with you now. Good old Bali internet is nice and slow right now. Now I want you guys to download this tool, all right? And this is my identifying limiting beliefs tool. Now the questions in here are structured in a certain way so we can tap into different areas of your brain, different parts of your world, like relationships, money, skills, how you feel about your own resources and your own abilities, and bring out all of the little limiting beliefs that might sabotage you without you even realizing what's happening. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to think of your biggest goal with your business. So it may be the money that you want to earn. It may be the lifestyle. It may be the type of audience that you want to produce. And then I want you to ask yourself the questions that follow. Why won't it come true? What could go wrong? Now, there is one rule to this. You have to be honest and you're not allowed to stop yourself, because you are actually going to bring this brain dump into the first module of the Sexy Brand Building Formula. So as you're going through this, I want you to imagine that you've cut off the top of your head and everything that you are thinking is just pouring out onto a piece of paper. Because while it's in your head, you can actually never capture it, you can't control it, you can't do anything with it. But once you've got it on paper, it's externalized and you can do what you want with it and you're in control of it. But you're not allowed to stop yourself. You must put down every thought and every reaction that you had. See, we've been conditioned to do things like, oh, I can't bring that into a group because people are going to think that I'm silly, or that's a really embarrassing thing to say. But make sure that you put it down, because it does have the possibility to sabotage you if we don't work with it and if we don't get rid of it, or if we don't flip it and utilize it as a tool. So that's the first thing that I want you to do. Now let's look at where these limiting beliefs actually come from. So what is a limiting belief? I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory, isn't it? A limiting belief is a belief that you are conditioned to, that you act upon, that limits you, that limits your success, all right, that gives you barriers to achieving what it is you actually want to achieve. But where do they actually come from? How did you formulate them? You formulated them right throughout your life, but do you realize that a lot of your limiting beliefs aren't actually yours? They don't belong to you. You've borrowed them from somebody else. You are actually your mother. Yeah, when I say that, is that we actually borrow and are conditioned by other people and the existence and the conditions around us for our own limiting beliefs. We borrow them from other people. So you think about this, all right? From the ages of 0 to 6 is when we formulate most of the ways that we feel like we have to behave, the kind of person that we need to be, and it's also where we formulate our limiting beliefs. We do this through asking questions, observation, and we formulate this and borrow these things from our parents, from our education, from our religion, from our culture, from our community. So how are you similar to other significant adults in your life? As an example, I used to really struggle with my body confidence, but so did my mother. And then so did her mum, my nana. And then from talking to them, I found out so did my nana's mum, right? She'd actually passed her own limiting beliefs and her own lack of self-confidence about her body image down to her daughter, and then it was passed on to me. I was still healing from 3 generations of limiting beliefs that weren't mine. Now, I'm sure my great-grandmother was a wonderful person, but I didn't know her. That's not me. That doesn't belong to me. And once you realize this, you can get rid of a lot of your limiting beliefs that will sabotage you. Some really interesting ones that have been handed down are limiting beliefs around money. So I myself am a farmer's daughter, and I used to really struggle, even though I had a really well-paying job. I used to really struggle investing my money, investing it in my business, and investing it in myself, because my habits with money and my limiting beliefs around money had been passed down from 3 generations ago. Now, 3 generations ago, my great-grandparents experienced wars and depressions. So their relationships with money and limiting beliefs around money got passed down to my parents. And they still practice those same behaviors, even though they're small business people now. They still hang on to their money. They find it hard to invest in order to make more money. They always feel like there's a lack. And they pass that down to me. And once I recognized that, I was able to dissolve that, because that kind of relationship and limiting belief around money as an entrepreneur right now, with access to the internet and amazing training and the knowledge of fantastic people from all over the world, That doesn't work for me. I needed to change that limiting belief in my money habits in order to be a successful entrepreneur. So you can start recognizing the limiting beliefs that you've had and where they come from, right? So I'm just going to share my screen with you. So what I want you to do is I want you to do that activity and uncover those limiting beliefs. Then I want you to do this. I want you to think of the biggest limiting belief that has sabotaged you up until now. I want you to think of the biggest fear, the biggest excuse, the one thing that has held you back up until now. And I almost guarantee that if we break that down, it will come down to one of two things. It will come down to the limiting belief of the fear of not being good enough, or it will come down to, and this is very primitive, and you'll learn this over the scope of this course, of not belonging. So what is the one limiting belief that has held you back? Is it that you're not smart enough, that you're not good enough, that you're not deserving enough, that you're going to be kicked out of your social herd, you won't be accepted, people are going to talk badly about you, that you need to please other people, that you need to be a good person? And I want you to think of this. I want you to think about what this has cost you up until now over the course of your life and in your business. Now, this is actually mine that I did a number of years ago. So mine was not being good enough and the need to please other people. Now, this cost me opportunities. This cost me my dreams. This cost me financial freedom, time with my children and loved ones, because I was putting energy into other people rather than creating the life that I wanted and living the life that I wanted. It cost me happiness, power within myself, because I was constantly giving it out to other people. It cost me relationships with the right people, because I felt like I had to hang on to my old social herd, the wrong people, like I had to continue to be a good person in that scope, even if they were non-supportive of me and toxic. And it cost me calm and balance in my life. Now, I want you guys to do this exact same thing. Even if you've done it before, I want you to think of the biggest limiting belief that you've had during the Sexy Brand Building Formula previously, if you're a repeater, and do this again. And then I really want you guys to bring this to the first module of the Sexy Brand Building Formula. Because what we're actually going to do is I want you to make a commitment to close the door on these things, to no longer self-sabotage, to no longer let your limiting beliefs override what you deserve, your success and your happiness. You might have amazing goals and dreams for your business, for your lifestyle, for whatever it is. But the reality of the situation is that if you have values and limiting beliefs that are different to that, if you want to create a certain amount of wealth, but your limiting beliefs are that you're not deserving of that wealth, or that money is the root of all evil, if you want to have big time free, but your limiting beliefs make you act to please other people and not give yourself any time, then you will self-sabotage that dream, that vision. And I need you to hit this pain point now and work out what it's cost you up until now, because this is going to be your motivator to override your limiting beliefs, to flip them, to utilize them as a tool, and to start practicing the emotional intelligence techniques that we are going to give to you, the mastering your brain game, the mastering your mind techniques that we are going to give you in order to achieve your success and what you deserve and what you want to achieve. Now, with that in mind, another thing that this is going to do is that you may feel silly bringing this in. Now, I know why your brain is doing that, and it's primitive. It's at a primitive belonging level, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You will learn about all of this as well. But we're actually going to share this. I'm going to ask you to share this in the group and bring it to that first call. And what you will start realizing is that you aren't on your own, that we all have very similar limiting beliefs because we're brought up in the same sort of existence and circumstance and with the same influence, but it's also cost us the same things. Now, really importantly, you're actually going to utilize this now, not only to drive you forward as a motivator, but you can use these experiences to help other people. You can use this knowledge that you've learned, package it up to help other people. So once you've done this, post it in the group, bring it to the first module, the first lesson for the Sexy Brand Building Formula, and you will start making connections with your new social herd. Now, looking at that, with all said and done, I also want you to bring this. How committed are you to changing this? How committed are you to stop sabotaging yourself, to not reaching the success that you deserve, or the lifestyle that you deserve, or the levels of happiness that you deserve? because of your limiting beliefs sabotaging you? How committed are you to getting the skills to overriding any fear, any doubt? Because the reality of the situation is even the most successful people experience doubt. They experience fear, but what they've done is they've mastered their mind. They're emotionally intelligent enough to understand what their brain does and do the things that they need to do in order to get what they want or what they deserve regardless. So how committed are you to no longer sabotaging yourself and to learning those strategies? And I want you to write down a number from 0 to 10. 0 being not at all committed, 10 being very effing committed. And I want you to share that in the group and bring that to our first module of the Sexy Brand Building Formula. Okay, so there is your pre-work. Your 3 little activities from this training is do your limiting beliefs dumping tool. What is your biggest goal? And then brain dump from those questions to uncover your limiting beliefs. Bring the what has these limiting beliefs cost you until now, and I also want you to post these in all the groups, and then your number, your commitment level. And we'll see you in the first module of the Sexy Brand Building Formula.